Yesterday during the off day here in Anaheim, Rich Hill and fan favorite Josh Reddick were traded up the coast to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tonight, the A's will take the field behind the arm of rookie Sean Manaea. His team has a new identity, and the anchor of it all is their youthful starting rotation. Manaea has been everything the A's had hoped for this season as he improves every start. Tonight, the Athletics open up a 3-game set versus their Southern California rival, the Angels of Anaheim. Game 1 next. Well, the final stop on this 3-city road trip for the Athletics is Angel Stadium of Anaheim. Sean Manaea is going to get the ball in the first of this 3-game set, and we're going to have it for you right here in CSN, California. It's the Oakland A's and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, yesterday indeed was the trade deadline, which is always an interesting and busy day around Major League Baseball. And of course, the A's were involved, and they made a big trade, Ray, sending a couple of popular players and good players to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And not unexpected, because Rich Hill and Josh Reddick were both mentioned. There are a lot of clubs interested in them, so both went to the same team. That would be the Los Angeles Dodgers. For Rich Hill, of course, he had won 9 ball games, been on the disabled list with a blister on his finger, also a groin injury. But Josh Reddick, a very good season as well. Gold Glover in 2012. Inspirational leader. I mean, these guys were leaders on this ball club. One from the pitching side, one from the position side. So I think both will be missed, but it's what happens when you're in baseball and you're in last place.
For Sean Manaea, his last start was Wednesday in Texas. Ray, interesting start. He had a career-high 9 strikeouts. He also allowed a career-high 11 hits, but all in all, he pitched well.
Well, he's not walking anybody, so maybe that's the good side of it. But he also has Stephen Vogt working with him, and I think that really makes it nice for him, because he could go with a veteran catcher. He's using his changeup a lot. He's using his slider a lot, sneaky fastball. He loved the heat, as he said, in Arlington, Texas, although he pitched into the 7th inning, but he's been pitching well. He's going to get us a lot of chances, because all these young pitchers, because of the trade of Rich Hill, are getting an opportunity to pitch. I think Sean Manaea tonight is going to be able to show that.
And Manaea will be opposed by Angels right-hander Matt Shoemaker. So that's your pitching matchup for Game 1 of this 3-game series. It's a beautiful night in Anaheim. When we come back, we'll have lineups and first pitch. A's and Angels coming up.
California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Angel Stadium of Anaheim. As the lineup cards are being exchanged at home plate, and we're just moments away from first pitch. Game time weather for tonight is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 82 degrees, and it's a little humid tonight, but overall a very nice night for baseball, as it usually is down here in Anaheim. So that's your starting pitcher tonight for the A's, Sean Manaea. He's finished his warm-up tosses. He's ready to go. So the A's, after the big trade yesterday, back to work today. And it's all said and done, Ray, I think, well, you kind of hope that Reddick and Hill do not get traded, but I think you also feel like they probably will get traded. And they did.
Yes, they were talked about. And I think a lot of times you have to look at potential free agents and the ability to sign it. You know, Reddick was pretty adamant. He knew he was going to be a free agent for the first time. Rich Hill, of course, signed with the A's, given the opportunity to start. But I think both realizing that they were good, that they were wanted, and there's nothing better than to be a player, position, or pitcher, and have clubs want you. And the Dodgers obviously wanted them. They wanted their veteran status and helping them to try to win. Other clubs made similar moves, and I think that's what happens this time during baseball. Now we'll settle down for the next 3 weeks or so, and then clubs will start talking about sending players through waivers and trying to get them on their postseason rosters.
So the Angels take the field, and let's look at the lineup tonight for the Athletics. Coco Crisp will be in left field. Jed Lowry's at second. Stephen Vogt is your catcher. Chris Davis will DH. Danny Valencia is going to start in right field tonight. Yonder Alonso is at first. Marcus Semien, who has 5 home runs against the Angels this year, will hit 7. And Smolinski and Healy round out the Athletics starting lineup.
And Matt Shoemaker, better than his record shows. He's lost 11 games, but his run support has not been very good. Very good pitcher, though. Look at a couple of years ago, how well he pitched for Mike Scioscia and the Angels. But with him starting tonight, his 21st start with a record of 5-11. Good fastball that he likes to use a lot. 2- and 4-seam fastball, along with a curveball slider and a split finger fastball that he will use for his strikeout and his out pitch.
Defensively behind Matt Shoemaker tonight, the Angels line up like this. Shane Robinson in left. Mike Trout's in center. Cole Calhoun is in right. Yunel Escobar, Andrelton Simmons, Johnny Giavotella, and Jeffrey Marte is your infield, and Jet Bandy is the catcher. So Shoemaker finishing up his warm-up tosses, and A's try to bounce back from a tough weekend in Cleveland. The Indians played well, and the Indians took it to the A's and ended up sweeping them. Some of the transactions today for the Athletics. Ladendorf and Triggs brought back up from AAA, and Wendelken sent back down. And of course, Reddick out, Hill out, but Hill was on the disabled list. So Ladendorf up, Triggs up, Wendelken down. So some new players. And we're set for baseball as Coco steps in. Shoemaker takes a long walk behind the mound. Coco at 239 with 9 home runs and 43 RBIs. Lowry and Vogt to follow.
Ten of the 19 games have been played between these two clubs, so still some baseball remaining. The A's will come here for the final week of the season, and of course the Angels will play another series up in Oakland.
Four and 6 is the A's record against the Angels. So 1-1 to Coco Crisp. Shoemaker looking for his 6th win of the year. Your umpires, Chad Whitson. I've not heard his name before. Gary Cederstrom is the crew chief. He's at first. Then Cooper and Wolf.
I haven't heard of him either. Matter of fact, I called him Wilson.
I just wrote down what it said on the lineup card.
Well, that's what I thought I did, but evidently not. But I'd not heard of him. I mean, somebody in this crew getting some time off. Umpires work hard. They need some time off. They need a week or two or a month.
A little bit inside. 2-2 the count. A's come in with a 47-58 record. In fact, the A's and the Angels have identical records. These are 23-29 on the road.
Well, the A's right now are playing for pride the rest of the season. And, you know, this is where major league players, you're signed to play 162, whether you play 162 or not. You know the manager's going to manage 162. And that's what it's all about. You play the remainder of the season, and if it means looking forward to 2017, you do that, but you play hard right now.
So Coco hits it hard, lines out.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. Of course, with the series in Cleveland, the A's completed their Eastern time zone. It's got to be good. They will go to the Central a few more times, but the rest of them on the West Coast. So just having that extra hour that you don't have to worry about on the East Coast. And of course, the playing well the last 2 months of the season. There's some new players, new attitude. The whole thing has to be part of the game for the Athletics the final 2 months. And, you know, some guys are playing for jobs, whether it's with the A's or other teams or scouts in the stands looking for off-season trades. So a lot riding for all these teams in the final 2 months of the season, regardless of where you are in the standings.
Jed Lowry goes after the first pitch, pops it up. Escobar may have a play, and he does. With a basket catch by Escobar. So Lowry, can't believe that that's what happened on the first pitch he sees of the ball game.
And a very casual play by Escobar. A lot of confidence, you could say, when he makes the play the way he did. Back to the infield with a basket catch.
So 2 outs, and here's Stephen Vogt. Stephen Vogt sitting in the 3rd spot tonight. Big shift on for Vogt, and he takes the first pitch strike. 272 overall with 8 home runs and 30 runs batted in for Vogt.
Well, on Sunday in Cleveland, Josh Reddick was hitting 3rd. So that is changed with Josh now with the Dodgers. So Bob Melvin moving his lineup around a little bit. Stephen Vogt in the 3rd spot, at least for tonight's game.
Quick 0-2 to Vogt. Played a pull on the infield, hit the ball the other way in the outfield. Close pitch, a little low. Shoemaker generally around the plate. He's only walked 24 in 119 innings. That one is drilled to left and hit well. Robinson, who was playing shallow, hustling back, makes the catch. Side retired. So a 3 up, 3 down inning for Matt Shoemaker, and it's time for Sean Manaea to get to work. Let's look at their lineup. It starts with Yunel Escobar hitting .322 on the year, then Calhoun, Trout, Pujols, Marte, Simmons, Bandy, Giavotella, and Robinson.
Sean Manaea seeing the Angels for the first time, although I'm sure via video they have seen him a lot. But Sean coming off the start against the Rangers, that is, when Ian Desmond hit a home run off him. The A's came back and won the game, though, 6-4. But Sean Manaea proving that he can be around the plate, and anytime you do what he's done his last 4 appearances, including the relief appearance, 0 in the walk column. So he's throwing strikes and mixing his pitches very well.
Chris Smolinski, Valencia in the outfield. Healy, Simeon, Lowry, and Alonso on the infield, with Stephen Vogt doing the catching. So Escobar digs in. He's ready to go. Manaea's first pitch is a fastball a little bit outside. And a quick 1-1 count. Escobar hitting .322 with 3 homers, 32 RBIs. The .322 batting average is 3rd best in the American League.
And he is very aggressive for a leadoff hitter. He is not your prototypical guy to take a lot of pitches. That's the kind of swing he will use, whether first pitch or a 2-strike pitch. Very, very aggressive hitter.
Jose Altuve leads the American League in hitting at a .356 average. Xander Bogaerts at second at .326. So Altuve has a huge lead. No walks.
Yeah, that's impressive. It is.
26 and 2/3 innings, covering 108 batters.
It's not like he's just throwing the ball down the middle. He's throwing some 3-2 breaking pitches, and he will mix it up. He'll be a ground ball pitcher at times, as he was a couple of starts ago against Tampa Bay. But he's a fly ball pitcher as well, so he mixes up quite a bit.
Healy ranges to his left, throws out Escobar, 1 away. Well, it's not a coincidence that you see those numbers about the walks covering his last 4 games. And then his ERA in those 4 games is 1.69. Now, he has not got a decision in any of those 4. He has pitched well. 26 strikeouts and no walks in his last 4 games, I should say. Remember, he had that relief appearance.
He earned a lot of points, brownie points, especially. I know Liam Hendricks talked about how he saved the bullpen, and just in general to have his pitching coach say, go put your cleats on, we may need you, and no more got the cleats on and said, we need you. So he did it and pitched well. But he is a starter, and proven that this time a year ago, he was, well, just a little bit before, he's a member of the Kansas City Royals organization, and Ben Zobrist off to Kansas City. Sean Manaea here.
Cole Calhoun is the hitter, .278 his average, with 10 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Towards center, Smolinski's there, 2 away. Strikeout to walk ratio. So basically, April and May, if he's got 10 strikeouts, for every 10 strikeouts, he's walking 5 guys. That's basically what. But it gets better, and now it's off the charts.
Well, for a young pitcher too, that's special, because you have a tendency, and you can see where young pitchers would have a tendency to get a little bit wild and be afraid to pitch to contact. And this is a pretty potent lineup to be pitching to, and if they make contact, they can do some damage.
Mike Trout at .313 with 19 home runs and 66 runs batted in. Trout lines one to center. Smolinski will play it on the hop. A soft line drive. So Trout has a 2-out single, and here comes Albert Pujols.
A base hit, a very quick bat. Mike Trout has always shown that in his time in the big leagues. 5-time All-Star. He is already putting up tremendous numbers that are unheard of for a young player. But if you're pitching against the Angels, what Sean Manaea has already done in this inning is what you have to do. Keep the first 2 guys off the bases. Trout gets a base hit, and you have Pujols, Marte behind him. But the key, and they talk about protection, but the protection here is getting the guys out in front of the power hitters.
First pitch to Pujols, down and in. Another fine season for Albert Pujols, hitting .260 with 20 homers and 81 RBIs. He's 3rd in the league in RBIs.
This month of July, 30 plus, was it 30 RBI? I mean,
yep.
he just had a tremendous month.
Trout goes. Throw to second is a good one, and he is out. Nice throw by Stephen Vogt. Cuts down Mike Trout to end the bottom of the first. No score after 1 from the Big A.
Stephen Vogt hitting 3rd, catching, and what a quick release with the speedster Mike Trout. Ball right on the bag. As Jed Lowry caught the ball, applied the tag on the left hand as he slid in and called out at second base. And Mike Trout running a little bit more, trying to go around the tag, but Jed Lowry was there to make the tag. But a quick throw by Stephen Vogt, and just as quickly was the release by Sean Manaea to his catcher. Even as a left-handed pitcher, he went on first move, did Trout, but Stephen Vogt threw him out with a perfect throw.
Chris Davis leading it off here in the top of the second. Davis, Valencia, and Alonso. First pitch to Davis is down. Davis had 26 homers, 68 RBIs. 4th in the league in homers. Tied for 8th in the league in RBIs. Pops off the catcher's glove, 2-0.
Fans down from Northern California to watch the game, or
belted to right center, and that baby is gone. Solo home run for Chris Davis, his 27th of the year. And it's a 1-0 A's lead here in the second.
no park is too big for this strong man, and that's a fastball. And Mike Trout, just a courtesy look, because this is a very, we just left Cleveland, and that's a very good hitter's park. This one also is a very good one, although Chris Davis, it doesn't matter where he plays. He can hit some shots, and Mike Trout's hit enough in that direction. He knows that's very deep in right center. That's your typical left-handed hitter pulling the ball in right center. Instead, it was the right-hander. Chris Davis crushed it. And he always has family and friends down here, too. We were just here a month ago, month and a half or so.
So 4th in the league. Chasing Encarnacion, Frazier, and Trumbo.
Keep him healthy. May see him at the top of the list before the season's over.
Valencia hits it hard. In the hole is Andrelton Simmons. He was playing that way. Throws it to first, and Valencia's out.
He threw that ball quite interestingly. Well, this is on the 17th at the Coliseum. Chris Davis against Matt Shoemaker, and this is what he did there. Little cut fastball, left center, just below the camera well. Little salute to Ron Washington in those alternate gold jerseys. And Chris Davis said, well, let's just try to go to right center tonight, and he did it perfectly.
Here's Yonder Alonso, who goes after the first pitch and hits it high and foul down the left field line. Davis matches his home run total from last year. Last year, though, 27 home runs in 121 games.
It's game 106 for the Athletics. He has not played in all of them, but when he has played, he's always been very dangerous in the middle part of the batting order.
Off the end of the bat to Giavotella. First. So 2 away here in the 2nd inning. And that'll bring up Marcus Semien. Semien has, as we showed you when we gave you the lineups, Semien has 10 hits this year against the Angels. 5 of those 10 are home runs. Now got 22 on the year.
Tell you what makes a great hitter, when you look at 22 home runs, 12 of the home runs have come when he's had 2 strikes in the at-bat. And that's impressive because he generates a lot of power even with 2 strikes. Looking fastball that time, got a breaking pitch.
Fastball a little bit high. 25 straight scoreless innings here at Angel Stadium for Matt Shoemaker. That is gone. And he has been great pitching in this park. Still may be, but Chris Davis gets him early.
Just talking about how it's a hitter-friendly park, and of course with nice weather, the ball seems to carry very well.
Two and 2 the count. It was the 14th home run that Shoemaker has allowed this year in 119 innings. Good take by Semien, and he draws a walk. I think most pitchers will try to figure out how a hitter did not swing at that pitch.
I agree with you 100%. And you talked about the numbers that Semien has had against the Angels, and maybe knowing what Shoemaker throws, looked like it was a splitter, 3-1 and 3-2, and he ended up not chasing them. And just a good at bat by Marcus Semien.
So here's Smolinski with 2 outs. That one is a strike on the outside corner. Smolinski hitting in the 8th spot at .298 with 6 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Two for his last 20 for Smolinski. Oh, and that hit him. Smolinski's going to trying to figure out what to do. They're saying it's a foul ball. Yeah, the home plate umpire just said foul.
That's scary. It's up near his head, and I guess they're saying they hit his bat with his hand on the bat, but it's not a swing. Wow.
So they're saying again it's a foul ball. But Gary Cedarstrom, the first base umpire and the crew chief, is coming down, and they are going to take a look at it. The thing with these replays, when it has to do with that, it's very hard to see what it hits. I mean, it's moving so fast. And I know you slow it down and all that, but it's still.
I just checked the left hand, or both hands really, as the ball comes up and in. It hit him on the top of the left hand, which is the bottom hand right there. And it's amazing the limber, how he's able to go down the way he did. Yeah, they're going to put him on first as a hit batter. Definitely hit his hand. It's not the bat.
So they did change it, and nicely done by the umpiring crew. I was surprised there was not more reaction from Smolinski.
I think he was dazed.
Because usually a guy gets hit in the hand, he reacts.
But you know, Keim, I was thinking the same thing. But every time he's been hit, and there have been a few times, he's got hit in the hand, the forearm, and he's never reacted anything other than taking first base. So I guess on one hand, tell you get hit with a bat around your hand, your hand doesn't move. But surprisingly, in that shot, it showed that it hit his left hand.
So the first pitch to Ryan Healy is low. So a 2-out walk and then a hit batter, and the A's have 2 on.
The scary thing was the fact that it was up near his head. And Shoemaker was not trying to do that, as he showed his displeasure with his own pitching after he did throw it up in it.
Healy drives one toward right center. Calhoun hustling over to his right. He makes the catch. Side retired. Home run for Chris Davis. His 27th home run of the year. So the A's have a 1-0 lead after an inning and a half. So Manaya's first pitch to Albert Pujols is in for a strike. Pujols was batting when Trout got thrown out trying to steal second base. Swing and a miss.
There's some saying that Mike Trout was not going to be running as much, although running more this year than he has the last couple of years because of this man, Albert Pujols. He had a 31 RBI in the month of July, sitting on 30, and they got one on Sunday. But a great hitter. Mike Trout, though, running a little bit more, 2 outs, and he's thrown out, so Pujols leads off this inning.
Pujols third in the American League in RBIs. Edwin Encarnacion leads with 89. David Ortiz is second with 85. And then Pujols has 81. After that, Trumbo was 75. Driven towards center. Smolinski going back. Turns around near the warning track. And he makes the catch. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. We're talking about the trades, and it was a busy day yesterday. 18 total trades were made, the most since 1995. 50 players, 20 teams. Some of the big names. Rangers made a big splash. They got a couple of good players. Jay Bruce went to the Mets. The Giants got a couple left-handers. One, Matt Moore, pretty good left-hander. We saw him earlier this year. So a busy day as expected. But it was maybe the Rangers that made the most noise, at least in the American League, right? Carlos Beltran, Jonathan Lucroy, and don't forget they got the closer for the Brewers, Jeremy Jeffress. That's a pretty good haul.
But the one thing they have to be concerned about, as tonight's the case, they got beat 5-1. While you can have all the offense you want, you run up against a pretty good pitching staff, and usually in postseason you're facing the top 3 of a rotation. They lost tonight, first game with those new players back in Baltimore, 5-1. They will be good. The pitching is always going to dominate, and they did get the closer, which they had been struggling with the closer, so those guys are back up a little bit.
Beltran, 22 home runs this year, and the Rangers designated hitter spot this year, a total of 10 home runs. Marte swings and misses, so 2 outs here in the second inning. The Angels, with their struggles this season, they made a couple of trades. They sent Hector Santiago and a right-handed pitcher, minor leaguer, to the Twins for Ricky Nolasco and Alex Meyer, and they also sent the veteran reliever Joe Smith to the Cubs for a single-A prospect. So Hector Santiago, a pretty good pitcher. So as you look at those names, you're thinking, well, why would you trade Santiago? Ricky Nolasco's really not pitched very well, but the guy the Angels really wanted was the third guy, Alex Meyer.
Yeah, that's what Billy Epler said, their general manager. You know, they're kind of trading contracts with both Nolasco and Santiago after next year free agents.
Yep.
So Nolasco from this area, so that might help him. Pitched for the Dodgers for a while before signing with the Twins.
And that one is belted to left field. But Coco Crisp is there as he backs up a couple of steps, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sean Manaea. Third inning coming up. It's the A's 1 and the Angels nothing. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by AAA. Get a free A's cap with a new AAA membership. Visit a participating AAA branch by August 30th. Restrictions apply. Sun setting here in Anaheim. That's a good look at the Big A. Surrounded by freeways. Chris Davis with a home run last inning. The only run in the game so far is it'll be Crisp, Lowry, and Vogt. Crisp hit a line drive to Giovitella to open up the ball game. First pitch runs outside. Change up at 84 miles an hour, catches the inside corner. Shoemaker works fast. 2 years ago, he had a great rookie season. And last year slipped back a little bit, trying to put it all together this year.
The year he had a great year was the year that Garrett Richards injured his knee down the stretch.
That's right.
And Shoemaker was the savior for the ball club throughout the season, but even more so at that point.
He was. Here's the breakdown this year. Boy, real tough start. Much better lately, but it was 2014. He went 16-4. Last year, 7-10. So maybe some concern early on when he got off to that horrible start, but he has been much better as of late. His name was out there a little bit in the rumor mill simply because he's one of those guys that, well, he's not going to be a free agent for a while. Always an attractive option. Time for the Geico quote of the game. Speaking of trades, A's GM David Forst on yesterday's trade of Reddick and Rich Hill said, quote, "This was not a typical decision because of Josh. In many ways, he has become the face of the franchise. I can't say enough about Josh's time in an A's uniform. Ultimately, the package we got from the Dodgers has the best interest of the organization in mind, and we got 3 pitchers we expect to be a big part of this organization for a long time to come." We have 3 right-handers.
And relievers, right? I think expected to be in the bullpen, and of course the A's have a very good young starting rotation, and they fortified their bullpen with some veterans in Madsen and Axford, Sapczynski, Liam Hendricks. Maybe by the time those young players develop, they make some changes.
Oh, 1 to Lowry. Lowry swung at the first pitch in the first inning and fouled out. So the names are Grant Holmes, Frankie Montas, and Jarrell Cotton. Again, all right-handed pitchers. Dodgers considered to have a pretty good farm system. Cue shot toward third. Escobar has it. Simmons on the pivot, and that is a 6. Make that a 5-6-3 double play as Andrelton Simmons with the shift on. He was right at the bat, so that's the way the double play goes. So here's the new guys. Grant Holmes, just 20 years old, pitching in single A. Montas is a big guy, big, hard thrower, but he's been injured most of the year. I don't think he's going to pitch any this year. He had a rib injury. And Jarrell Cotton is currently in AAA. 16 starts and 6 games in relief. So there you go. Those are the 3 pitchers that the A's got for Reddick and Hill.
And if they can all throw as hard as they say, then that's what you want, especially whether they start or out of the bullpen. Hard throwers, which that seems to be the name of the game now.
Stephen Vogt hit a ball to left field in the first inning and swings and misses. Another swing and a miss. So 3 pitches. Vogt strikes out, and that will do it for the A's in the top of the third. Bottom of the third coming up. Bandy, Giavotella, and Robinson to hit for the Angels. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by PG&E, together building a better California. 1-0 the A's lead, bottom of the third from Angels Stadium of Anaheim. It'll be Bandy, Giavotella, and Robinson. Good start so far for Minaya. He's faced the minimum of 6 hitters. Did give up a hit in the first, but Mike Trout was thrown out trying to steal. Bandy at 276 with 4 home runs and 17 runs batted in. He is a big guy.
And we have seen him. He can throw great. He's got some pop in his bat. Getting a chance to catch every day from Mike Scioscia. Giovanni Soto was activated, but then back on the DL.
Yep. Bandy listed at 6'4", 235 pounds.
So he must talk to Sandy Alomar Jr. when they play the Indians because of Sandy's height. He's a great catcher.
Yeah. Matt Wieters is pretty tall. Joe Mauer was a tall catcher. I guess advantages and disadvantages, right?
All those catchers you listed would appreciate the contract that Joe Mauer got, and they would be more than happy to move to first or catch or do whatever.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Bandy did get to the big leagues last year, but just a couple of games. Good pitch there. Minaya got in on the hands, and Bandy swings and misses.
Second baseman, number 12.
Yeah, Sean Manaea, we talked about the quick release, gets a high leg kick with nobody on base and really ties up Bandy with the pitch inside, brings the hands in, realizes it's close enough to be a strike, better swing, and has to ask the home plate umpire, Chad Woodson, if it was a strike. Swung and missed anyway.
Giavotella steps in. He takes a strike. 272 for the Angels second baseman with 6 home runs and 29 runs batted in. Did I see where the Angels activated Cliff Pennington? Thought I saw that.
They're supposed to tonight, yes. Had a hamstring injury out for quite a while.
Angels did make some moves today, and there it is. Houston Street has really been struggling. He was placed on the 15-day disabled list. Pennington reinstated. Mike Warren brought up from AAA. So Cliff Pennington is back. Houston Street's to the DL.
Tough day for Houston on Sunday, giving up the 3-run home run to Dustin Pedroia here.
Oh,
straightaway center field.
two outs, 2 strikes, right?
Yeah. You know, I was reading that. It said the last time that Pedroia hit a home run 9th inning or later was against Houston Street, 2010, when Houston pitched for the Rockies. So I'm sure that was a great memory for Houston, and maybe not so much for Houston as it was for Pedroia. But Pedroia is a gamer.
So back-to-back strikeouts for Sean Manaea. His stuff looks sharp tonight.
Yeah, using all of his pitches. And again, that's a young pitcher going with veteran Stephen Vogt. And Sean Manaea is one of the guys, as we were talking about in our open, about how he would talk to Rich Hill. And Rich Hill would talk to him about pitching. You could see them kind of together when, especially when Manaea came out of a game. Those are the kind of guys you like to have, especially for a young pitching staff, to be able to talk to about situations.
Well, Sean Manaea must have been listening, or asking the right questions, because he's really starting to figure it all out. And who knows, it may be just simple as throw strikes. Your stuff is plenty good. Be around the strike zone.
You know, what we have seen of him, and it goes back to the beginning, he's gotten better and better, but he realizes he has a fastball, plus, slider, and a changeup, and he uses all of them. There's a swing on a fastball that Robinson might have been thinking soft as he protected with a fastball a couple of strikes.
Ace fan got it. Sporting the sweet satin green jacket of the Athletics.
Is it Blue Moon? No, he'd be behind the A's dugout. That would be cool.
Looked like that one that Billy Martin used to wear in the dugout when he was a man.
Well, we'll sit Saturday then.
That's why I brought it up. Remember that sweet-looking green silk jacket?
That's right.
Don't see a whole lot of those around. Lowry on the backhand, a soft line drive, and that's another 3-up, 3-down inning with a couple of strikeouts for Sean Manaea. Car Sunshine presented by Chevrolet. Sunday, August the 14th,
10,000 fans will receive this stylish promotion, the 1:05 p.m. A's versus the Mariners game. Make sure you and your car stay cool even on the sunniest days of summer by visiting athletics.com/tickets today. So that will be a week from Sunday. The A's home on Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Chicago Cubs. And the Orioles and the Mariners in for the following week for that week-long good homestand. Yeah, a long homestand for the A's.
Well, you think about Cubs, one of the better teams in baseball, and the Orioles.
That's right.
In their 60th game tonight, and they're a very good team. Mariners just kind of hanging on the fringe of that wild card race, but they certainly have something to play for at least. And Mariners in that spot where they can't really afford a bad stretch of baseball, but if they had one of those win 13 out of 15, they would probably be in that mix for the wild card spot. But the Mariners right at 52 and 52, but there's still some time for them. They got to go. This was Chris Davis in the second inning. It's fun to watch.
2-0 fastball, and you see Jet Bandy behind the plate kind of turn his head because he knows with the sound that it was going, and it went without any problem. The strong man now, Shoemaker, off speed in the first couple of pitches.
One-two pitch, got him swinging. So that's the second strikeout for Shoemaker. It's that, I said changeup, but it's really a splitter, and he's throwing at about 85, 86 miles an hour. So it's really maybe a little bit too fast for him to be a changeup. So a good splitter, we'll call it.
I think there's the key. He got ahead and able to go to the split versus throwing a fastball 2-0. So he likes to get ahead with a fastball. If he gets ahead, he'll throw the splitter to try to put hitters away. He went for a while without ever walking a batter, and he said he couldn't even remember walking one, and tonight he's walked two.
That's right.
I think from the A standpoint of watching the first 4 months, and we've talked about it often, and that is the number of walks they have not received, unlike in the past where they drew more walks. But this year when they draw them, they're still not scoring them.
Yeah.
Just too many zeros in the column of walks that have scored.
Yeah, the A's have the second fewest walks in the American League. And it's one of the reasons their on-base percentage this year is last in the American League. They're 11th in the league in runs scored. The A's are 11th in home runs hit. They're not striking out a lot. Second fewest strikeouts, but second fewest walks. There's a shot. Fair. Escobar dove for it, couldn't get it. Just went right over the bag. So Valencia will hustle in, and he will have a double.
Well, Valencia's aggressiveness, as always, with the leg kick. He gets an off-speed pitch and hammers it inside the line. So 13th double for Danny Valencia. He's at right field tonight. There's the leg kick, foot down, and ball in the middle of the plate. No chance for Escobar at third. As the ball shot past him, and a very casual call of a fair ball by Joan Wolf at third base. Robinson getting the ball back in quickly, as Valencia knew he had to hurry to get into second. Since we last saw the Angels, a couple of players have been designated. Daniel Nava and Craig Gentry, two left fielders have got to be platooning. Shane Robinson taking over in left field.
Yeah, that was the plan at the beginning of the year.
The left field for the Angels has just been non-existent. Talk about the DH of the Rangers, but left field, of course, the guy they signed a few years ago, Josh Hamilton, who's now back with the Rangers, but they signed him to a mega contract, hoping that he would provide the power and stability in left field, but just did not work out. He's on the disabled list again. And now back with the Rangers after the Angels traded him back, gave him away.
Now the Angels, I mean, it's It's one. I mean, listen, you go back and forth on it, but you really do shake your head, and it has to be holding the Angels back. They are paying $24 million to Josh Hamilton in 2016 and again next year, Ray. And the Rangers, who have him now, are paying a very small amount of his total amount, but $24 million each year, this year and next year.
That could be 2 to 3 players, or one qualifying offer for one of your players.
I mean,
but it's really absurd, and you know, he did nothing. He had one good year with the Angels, but that was it.
So that's one of those that they can't get rid of soon enough, but they're still writing a check, and they're going to do it again next year. Toward left, Robinson near the wall, and Robinson makes the catch.
Shoemaker did not give Alonso any chance to pull the ball to advance Valencia to third. And that's when you pitch close enough to the strike zone that a hitter has to swing. And all he can do is really a difficult pitch to even try to roll over to the right side. Alonso was trying, but just could not accomplish it. And that's a big out that did not advance the runner.
So now it's up to Marcus Semien. Come through with a 2-out hit. Semien walked in the second inning. There's that splitter for a strike.
Yeah, he's not waiting to get to 2 strikes.
No, he's not. It almost looks like he feels like he's got pretty good control of it.
Well, the numbers the guy showed with the percentage of fastballs and splitters that have been thrown by Shoemaker tonight, which from a hitter standpoint, you hope for something straight, but if it comes out of his hand like a fastball but then splits, then it's going to be a little bit less velocity and a lot of movement.
Blocked nicely by Jet Bandy.
And there's another one. Bandy, with his size, still able to get down with pretty good technique. And I always say that if you have a former catcher as a manager, you better do the things you're supposed to do behind the plate. Otherwise, you go to the end of the dugout. Because that man was pretty good. He could not catch today with the rule at the plate where you have to allow the runner to score and not block the plate like Mike Socia just put his burly body in front of him.
On the ground, Simmons charges and gets a good hop, and that will do it. So the A's get a 1-out double from Valencia, cannot get him home. Bottom of the 4th coming up, and it'll be the top of the order for the Angels. Fan Fridays are at the Coliseum as always, and Friday the Cubs are in town. Get a ticket and a value deck behind home plate. You're going to get an authentic A's snapback hat. It's your card and a $6 food and drink voucher, all for one great price. So that is Friday. It's the A's and the Cubs in League Baseball. Escobar right up the middle. So he's got a leadoff single here in the fourth inning.
Wonder how close Sean Manaea came. Catching this ball, he just missed it. And I think as he reached down, no chance to get his body in front of it, just hoping to catch it, but it eluded his glove. Just the always aggressive Escobar, and not surprised that he would jump on the first pitch.
So here's Calhoun. First pitch is a strike to Calhoun. Calhoun hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. Escobar does not have a stolen base.
When Trout attempted to steal, Sean Manaea, it's amazing. He does not throw very well to first base. But we always think of John Lester as well. And both have very quick moves to the plate. Slide step from Manaea, doesn't lose anything off his pitches. And there it is. That's exceptional when you can have that kind of velocity and control with a slide step. And it just able to do it in lefty, and if they go as Trout did, if they go on the first move with Manaea pitching.
One and two the count with Trout waiting in the on-deck circle. He's looking for a ground ball at somebody. That one, it is at somebody, but it's the third base cover.
And again, go to the slide step. Just watch the right foot. It's when it slides across or close to the ground. That's why they call it the slide step instead of lifting the leg. Or some pitchers will lift the right leg, and as long as they don't cross the foot back across the slab towards second base, then they can go to first or to the plate. That will freeze the runner. But if Escobar doesn't run, not much to worry about.
And a swinging strikeout for Manaea, his fourth.
Get the slide step and pull the swing at the same time. Vote outside. The slider stayed a little bit towards the inside part of the plate, but good break as well, and close enough that took the swing by Calhoun to try to make contact.
Rookie strikeout leaders in the American League. Manaea is second behind Michael Fulmer. Ryan Dull on the list.
Dull out of the bullpen. Fulmer and Manaea are starters.
First pitch is a strike to Mike Trout. Trout had a base hit to center field in the first, was caught stealing. Escobar with a decent lead. And Trout fouls that one off Stephen Vogt.
This was a direct hit on Stephen Vogt, right shoulder, chest protector, and grimaced just a little bit as a ball. Got him in the right hand. See, you know, while he got his right hand hit, you still have to have your right hand out in front. And you see some catchers that with runner on base, they'll put the right hand behind their back to protect it. But it doesn't help you in blocking balls and throwing. You really have to have it in front so you can get to the ball quickly. And Stephen Vogt, while he got it hit, still is in the proper position to be able to throw out, which he did. Trout in the first inning, or block balls in the dirt.
Trout takes up and away. 2-2 the count. Pujols in the on-deck circle. He's away from the on-deck circle, out a little closer to home plate. Maybe just letting Manaea know that he's there.
Or just to see what Manaea is throwing. Guys that cheat a little bit instead of staying in the on-deck circle usually are trying to pick up something from the pitcher.
or make a great play. How about that? Albert Pujols reached out with his left hand and grabbed it. Maybe that's just called paying attention.
You better. That close.
That's right.
Well,
if you're that close, you need to pay attention.
But you don't expect it from a right-handed hitter. A left-hander, yes, but that's trying out in front and, I mean, a severe hook to get it back to him.
Trout fouls it again. This one rolls to the backstop.
You talked about the salary that they're paying to Josh Hamilton. He's not here. How about the guy hitting the guy on Dexter? I mean, they've committed to a couple of players currently that are going to be around for a while, and they're producing.
Yep.
But it's a matter of how much you have to spend to try to put players around them. Jared Weaver, a pretty good contract.
Well, interesting, the Angels, they have some expiring contracts, big ones, and that'll help them next year a little bit. They'll have about $45 million coming off the books. Most of it is C.J. Wilson and Jared Weaver. They're both at $20 million this year. So you take those right off the top. So that will help them some.
And Wilson hasn't pitched all year.
Nope. Escobar, the runner at third base, has a club option for $7 million next year, so they'll have to make a decision on that. Trout hits one in the air to shallow center. Smolinski hustling in. He's got it. 2 outs.
Well, the guys are dangerous, and you get Mike Trout, who is so quick. That ball in on his hands just enough, or down where all he could do is protect the plate against strike 3 and hit a soft fly ball to center field. Perennial All-Star Mike Trout, really the face of baseball now.
Well, that's the question surrounding the Angels, and I guess it's probably a legitimate question. Are they wasting Mike Trout seasons?
Yeah,
and when I say wasting, I'm not saying that they're just sending him out there with nobody. Just they're not winning enough with maybe the game's best player in center field.
Well, that's been brought up, and you're exactly right. And it is something that they would have to consider. And of course, Mike Trout could get a boatload of players.
Yep.
I mean, even with the contract that he has.
Broken bat. Well, the Angels have made the postseason once in the last 6 years, and that was 2014. So that's Mike Trout's years right there.
Well, and also Albert Pujols has been here.
Exactly.
And just one time, they expected a lot more. Well, that bat shattered up the middle of the bat and half of it out towards third base. Albert DHing, said his hamstring that he injured playing the Athletics. Still bothering him a little bit.
Hits this one to Lowry. Lowry straightens up. On to first, side retired. So Manaea works around the leadoff single, and we're on to the 5th. Still 1-0 A's. Brought to you by McDonald's. June 23rd through the 26th. The last time the A's came to the Big A, they took 3 out of 4 from the Angels. They hit 7 home runs over the 4 days and outscored the Angels 25-18. So it was a good trip in. And again, the A's taking 3 out of 4. They won the first 3 games of that series, lost the last game.
And that was a grand slam by Coco, followed by Solo, Marcus Semien, back-to-back.
So that's the good news.
Yeah.
The bad news is that the Angels have played well at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
A's will be back here the final week of the season. So the final week of the season, correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, it's 3 here and 4 in Seattle, right?
Same as last year, except there was an off day on Thursday in Seattle, 3 and 3, but this year straight through 3 and 4. Stephen Vogt will go back home. Tom Watt, he may just stay there at the end of the season.
So next time we're here, we will be in the home stretch, big time. One and one to Jake Smolinski, who was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Got him in the left hand. Broken bat, rolled foul up the first base line.
Well, some sad news today, Kipe. Our good friend Monty Moore lost his wife, Dion. His wife, Dion, passed away today in Porterville. And Monty, of course, many, many years broadcasting for the A's. And Dion, his wife, forever, it seems, passed away today. So our condolences to Monty Moore and his family in Porterville. As son Donnie let me know today and said that one thing about Dion, she always enjoyed our telecasts. And the A's baseball, she followed the A's forever, and so best to Monty, and great man. So wish him luck.
This one into left field where Shane Robinson comes in. And he grabs it. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but she was sick for a while, right?
Yes, she had been. Yes, and Monty had been taking care of her, and Monty had just called and said he was not going to be able to make it up to this Saturday turn back the clock game. He was invited, but called and said no because he wanted to stay home with his wife, and just unfortunate that she passed away today. So, yes.
Well, we'll miss having Monty this weekend.
Yeah.
Ryan Healy had a fly ball in the right field to end the second inning. Did that with a couple of runners on. First pitch to Healy in for a strike.
Ryan Healy getting a lot of playing time. Talked to a couple of scouts had never seen him play, so they're here to see. Even though the trading deadline was yesterday, they're still here to see some players they have not seen before. And Ryan Healy is one of them, as he just joined the club the day after the All-Star break, getting a chance to play every day at third base and learning what it's like at the major league level, some ups and downs, and how you handle all of them.
So it's funny, you may say, well, listen, what would a scout be looking at Ryan Healy for? I mean, it's not like the A's are going to trade him.
Yeah.
I mean, but you just want to see him. You want to see his actions. You want to see, you know, is he a big guy? Is he a small guy? Has he got a long swing, short swing? How does he move around?
One scout, of course, seeing scouts here and to look at those things as you mentioned. But the one thing I was told too is how they handle just that. You know, swing and miss a breaking ball. How do you handle the adversity? You know, the makeup. And one scout told me, he says that's part of what we look at, the makeup of a player,
Sure.
how he handles certain situations in a game, on the field, in the dugout. Can't go in the clubhouse, but they can see a lot in what they see on the field.
So they're watching body language.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we hear this time of the year about certain players. Well, he's a great player. He probably could have been moved, but clubhouse presence is not the best, and they're not going to get it. And there's a high fastball out of the strike zone. And
well, I think too, and that's a great point. Plus, if you're the teams that are trying to acquire big league players are teams that are in contention. So if there's a question about somebody's clubhouse presence or if the reputation's not good, why would you bring a guy into your clubhouse if you're a contending team. That one's hit to right, and that's hit well. And that baby's gone. Second solo home run for the A's. This one belongs to Coco Crisp, and it's 2-0 Athletics.
Well, that's called an ambush. Coco walked his last at bat, 3-2 in his first at bat, 3-2 his second at bat. So what does he do this time? Jumps on the first pitch. Shoemaker said, I'm not going to fall behind a walk-in, so I'll try to get ahead. Sometimes very dangerous because good hitters would do exactly what Coco just did. Kind of lull them to sleep, think he's going to be taking, and then he puts one in the seats. So number 10 for Coco, and he's hit some big ones. On this trip alone, he's hit some very big home runs.
Lowry grounds it towards second, and that will do it. But Coco Crisp with a solo home run, his 10th home run of the year. So as we head to the bottom of the 5th from the Big A, the A's now lead 2-0. Angels, bottom of the 5th inning. Marte, Simmons, and Bandy against Sean Manaea, who's been good so far. He's got 4 strikeouts, and he's allowed just 2 hits. So the only 2 base runners. Forget about walking people. He's not walking anybody.
The good thing he got the 2-out hit to Trout, who's thrown out, but then the most impressive one was last inning when he had a leadoff base hit, and then with the big boys coming up in Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols, and he got all 3 and left Escobar at first. And now the second time through the batting order, so a team that had not seen Manaea, of course Manaea facing them for the first time, and good hitters as the Angels are, will try to pick up something from a pitcher. So between Stephen Vogt changing speeds, pitches, and Manaea going with his catcher, it's worked well so far.
This one hit high in the air toward right field. Valencia moving to his left, waiting. He's got it.
4th annual A's Bowling Bash presented by Chevron, Gerton Fixed Income Management, Independent Electric Supply, Lagunitas Brewing Company, Sharp Investments. Crystal Clear Imaging will be on Saturday, August the 6th, that's this Saturday, at Earl Anthony's Dublin Boat. Proceeds for this private fundraiser benefit the A's Community Fund. Can't wait to hear about all the 300 scores. I like what you said. 3 100 games.
Yeah, that's right. 3 100 games.
That's a good comment. I like that. That's about as close as I could come to a 300 game, although I'm not going to try it anyway. My knees say no.
Andrelton Simmons hit a fly ball to left field, his first at bat. Bounces this one up the middle, and it's going to squeeze through into center field for a base hit. I think Manaea Maybe feeling like he should have had it. He reached up. In fact, he may have got a glove on it.
The PFP, pitcher fundamental practice, and this is one of them back at you. And he did get a glove on it. You're right, slowed it down, but not enough time. And look at the infield alignment. 2 balls, 2 hits. Actually, all 3 hits. The fly ball by Trout and 2 ground ball hits up the middle. But the A's defense not shifting. Of course, maybe that's something they'll put in the memory bank for the future and the stats to start positioning certain guys up the middle.
So a 1-out single. Here's Jet Bandy. Bandy hits one deep to left. Coco's at the wall, and we are tied. So Bandy with his 5th home run of the year, and he's trying to make an impression on these Angels, and he must be doing it. He's getting more playing time.
Well, that'd be the 2nd home run against the A's. He got Sean Doolittle with a low fastball. And this one, a fastball, and it was crushed and no doubt. And if there's one thing about Manaea, we talk about no walks, but he gave up 10 in the first half. Of course, joined the club April the 29th.
Simeon's throw is wide, and Giovitella is tagged out, 2nd out.
So in this inning, all strikes from Sean Manaea, but a single up the middle with 2 strikes, or 1 strike on Simmons. And nice play by Alonso coming off the bat.
So 2 away. A home run, number 13 allowed by Manaea in 91 innings. Bounced over the head of Healy, and it's going to be a base hit. And keep an eye on Robinson. He's going to try for 2, and he is going to make it. Coco hustled in, but Robinson, as soon as he left the batter's box, he knew that he had a shot, and he just kept going.
I saw Valencia playing evil of the bag, and the way he chopped it in front of the plate, he was thinking 2 out of the batter's box, and any hesitation, Coco caught and threw the ball on the run. And that's how close it was. If Robinson is not running from the beginning, he does not make it, even with a head first slide. Almost out anyway, and Jed Lowry holding the tag. But that's the speed of Shane Robinson.
He's fast.
Let's see, is it? Let's see who could have run the first and still stopped if, as he looked up and saw that Coco was going after the ball.
So here's a tough out at Yunel Escobar, who is 1 for 2. Escobar's hit in the 4th inning was his 123rd hit, 7th most in the American League. .422 average with runners in scoring position. So he is a tough out.
Kind of look in the dugout like he's going to be intentionally walked, and really not a bad idea to at least pitch him carefully with those numbers.
3-0.
Left-hander Calhoun, the on-deck circle, was lined to center and struck out on a slider. I'd say he's got the green light. Why wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know if he looked at Ron Rennick, could he get a sign?
And it's just a bit outside, so it's a walk. So there's that walk.
Yep.
It's been a while. Last 5 games, 31 1/3 innings. The last time he walked somebody on the calendar, Ray, was the 5th of July.
And really not a bad walk if you can get Calhoun out, because 21 for 36 runners in scoring position for Escobar in the last 36 at bats. So a good idea to pitch him carefully. They did, walked him on 4 pitches.
So now lefty on lefty with Calhoun stepping in. Calhoun hits it hard, foul. Barely.
Gary Cedarstone calling it immediately. Hands up, no hesitation, and all it has to do is hit any part of the bag, and evidently it did not. That close. I guess if Alonso had caught it, got me out, you'd been saying this should have been a fair ball. It's a fair ball.
And there's a shot toward right field. Valencia is right there, and he makes the catch. A loud out by Calhoun, but a 2-run homer by that guy, Jet Bandy, and we're tied at 2.
At that app. Stay up to the moment, any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet.
So now we got a new game thanks to the Jet Bandy home run. 2-2, top of the 6th. It'll be Vogt, Davis, and Valencia. Matt Shoemaker has allowed 2 solo home runs. Davis and Crisp. First pitch is a swing and a miss. The Orioles beat the first place Rangers tonight 5-1. Rangers had their new guys in the lineup. Carlos Beltran hit 3rd. Jonathan Lucroy hit 6th. Neither of them had hits tonight. The Orioles do what they do. They hit 4 home runs. Well, the game was at Camden Yards. So the first place team in the East beats the first place team in the West. Win number 60 for the Orioles. Head high in the air, but foul.
Orioles have not had a lot of success away from Camden Yards.
No. Yeah, they're terrific at home. Wow, 37-16, now 38-16 at home.
I want to say it was the '87 Cardinals Twins that home teams won all the games. Just so happened the Twins had home field advantage. But it may come down. I mean, you've got to win on the road because you get postseason. Well, you know, you don't expect to win every game at home, but maybe that's the case. The Orioles are good enough to do that.
And with Boston and Toronto right on your heels, you can't afford a hiccup. You got to stay on it. Giovatello with a nice play. Marte hustles back. He gets his foot on the bag, and it's a 4-3 putout. It was not your normal 4-3 putout. It was a little more adventurous than that.
Well, a changed game because many times this would have been a base hit. Many times before the shift, a little lob toss by Giovanella. Kind of leading Marte because Marte had to get back and avoid a collision.
So with one out, here's Chris Davis. The Blue Jays beat the Astros 2-1. Couple of home runs for Toronto. All they needed, Batista and Encarnacion. That one's hit hard, but foul. So the Astros lost last night 2-1. They lose tonight 2-1. So they don't lose any ground. They're still 5.5 back in the West.
But last night, Scott Feldman, who all he had to do was change clubhouses.
That's right.
Goes over to the Toronto, comes in and faces 2 batters of his former team. Base hit, double, game over. That quickly.
Not an easy trip for the Astros. They have that 4-game series in Toronto, so they finished 2 of those 4, and then they go to Texas.
Yeah.
So this is a challenge week for the Houston Astros. Astros are 2.5 games back coming into today in the wild card race. So they're chasing right now.
Well, maybe by being chased this year compared to last year when they were doing trying to avoid having the Rangers catch them. Didn't work out so well for them as they lost to the Royals. No matter whether you're a tall catcher or medium-sized catcher, if the ball's in the dirt, it gets in your eyes. Doesn't matter. And that's what happened. Bandy taking a little bit extra time with that ball hitting the dirt with a foul ball and then popping the dirt up in the face.
And Chris Davis went around on the 0-2 pitch. Gary Cederstrom does it, and Chris Davis motions to Cederstrom. Cederstrom does the same motion back, and it's out number 2.
Well, he got him on that little flip right at the end. Chris brought it back.
That right there, and Cederstrom did the exact same back to Gary Davis. Or Chris Davis. So 2 outs. At least he didn't throw him out.
Well, for him, that could be an ejection.
I was going to say, maybe he did throw him out. With that in mind, Ray, I have to tell you, tonight in Philadelphia, Bob Davidson behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Bob Davidson threw a fan out of the game tonight in Philadelphia.
And it wasn't the wrong fan?
He threw a fan out. And the ushers had to look for the fan to find the right one. What is he doing? It's Philadelphia. They boo Santa Claus.
That's right. And the Philly fanatic.
How do you throw a fan?
That's. Yeah, well, how do you pick?
So a stadium of 25, whatever, 20,000 people, and you're going to pick out one fan and throw them out.
So did he just point in general to the direction?
I think so, yeah. I saw a highlight. He just kind of pointed, and he pointed right over top the third base dugout, but the guys in the dugout, what? I didn't say anything, and it was.
So he called the balk on the fan, huh?
What is he doing?
Balk and Bob.
That's ridiculous. Come on.
That's amazing. That's the old time. I've heard of a team or a manager telling the umpire about fans, and they come over.
Sure.
But you don't just, generally speaking, throw out somebody. Off the back foot of Danny Valencia. And he just pointed the direction and say, "Who? You?" You know, it's hard to believe.
Two and two to Valencia, who has doubled and grounded out. And that's splitter, but that one acted a little funky, and it's 3-2.
Well, it was up and it came down, but it stayed in. And then he tried to bring it back. So I figured, throw it 3-1, you throw it 3-2, see if he gets another splitter. Hang it, hit a home run.
He keeps throwing that, doesn't he?
Yep.
Valencia's double in the 4th inning, right down the third base line. So full count, pitch number 82 coming up for Shoemaker. So pitch counts okay. Inside he missed, so a 2-out walk. And Shoemaker not happy. He's not walked a lot of guys either.
Yeah, for somebody that could not remember walking a batter, and he's walked 3 tonight.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the problem with the split. If you use the split finger fastball, which he has done, and it doesn't work, ideally you throw the splitter in the middle of the plate and let it go straight down. But his is dancing around almost like a knuckleball.
Gets away from him once in a while.
Yeah, you want the velocity and you want it straight down.
So here is Yonder Alonso, who has grounded out and hit a fly ball to left field. Hits that one hard. Simmons knocks it down. Does not throw to first, and it's going to be a hit for Alonso. Shift was on, and Simmons had to go a long ways to his right.
And Simmons faked the throw to first, threw it to Giovatella at second base in case rounding the bag aggressively was Valencia. See where Simmons is, and gets up and fakes the throw and then flips it to second base. That's a smart play, because he has no chance to get Alonso nor at second base. So just in case, if you go for the fake and you round just a half a step, you're going to be out.
So 2 on, 2 out, and Semien has a chance to give the A's the lead here in the 6th. Last 6 home starts, 2 walks total. Tonight, 3. He's also struck out 4. This one hit high in the air, medium deep right field, but plenty of room for Calhoun as he settles underneath it. Side retired. So the A's strand a pair, and we're going to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 2. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. You'll never guess who wants you to come out and play at Roaring Camp. It's Thomas the Tank Engine and friends. That's who. Beautiful look outside Angels Stadium of Anaheim. Very nice ballpark. It's been here a long time. It's been renovated a couple times. Opened back in 1966. When the Angels became a franchise as an expansion team in 1961, They played in Los Angeles, right? At Wrigley Field.
Yeah, managed by Bill Wrigley.
Yeah.
And they've evolved from the California Angels, the Anaheim Angels, the Los Angeles Angels. They don't like to use Anaheim anymore. It's just straight Los Angeles Angels.
I still say Anaheim just because it's easy to say.
Well, you're right.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
But we're in Anaheim.
It's easy to say.
We're in Anaheim, and why not? Artie Moreno spent a lot of money to get the Los Angeles part of his team name.
I hope he's not mad at me for throwing Anaheim Angels out there once in a while. They played at Dodger Stadium for 4 years, and then this ballpark was built.
City of Anaheim appreciates you mentioning that.
I can't keep everybody happy, Ray. Mike Trout with the leadoff walk. It's a beautiful ballpark. That's the main entrance right behind home plate. Angel Stadium of Anaheim.
That's exactly what you say as you read that in the opening billboard. So, I mean, you're exactly right.
You can't miss it because there's two giant angel hats in front.
It's the meeting place. It's the meeting place. Hey, let's meet by the big hats.
That's right. Let's meet by the big hats.
That's what they said. Well, they're playing King Albert to pull the ball.
Just a little bit. Simeon backs up, juggles, and it bounces past him, and everybody's safe. Now that hurts. It would have been a double play. Pujols just does not run much anymore.
Well, and I guarantee you there was some severe topspin on that one, because as he backed up because he thought that was going to be the best hop, that's when it took a lot of speed. Hit extremely hard right there, and then when the ball bounced up, I don't know if you get a close shot of it, but watch it as it came up on him. But Key trying to get the ball to get Trout at second, and then Pujols, it would have been a double play.
'65th error. Coming into tonight, the A's have made just one error in their last 10 games, but let's hope this one is not costly. Jeffrey Marte steps up. First pitch, just a little bit high. But you're right, Ray. I mean, this hop right here takes off. Yeah, that's a tough play. It may not look like a tough play, but it is.
And you know, in hindsight, if he could have charged it, he'd gotten on the big hop before it hit the ground again, but kind of in between. But when it hits the ground, especially hit that hard off the bat, it really has some serious topspin.
1-0 to Marte. And Marte hits one deep to left. Goal. 3-run homer for Jeffrey Marte, and that one hurts.
Now the fastball belt high, and you look at the face on Sean Manaea, he knew it. And the interesting thing, the other error that you mentioned was in Cleveland on a ground ball that opened up a 4-run inning for the Indians.
So a 2-run homer and a 3-run homer. And the Angels lead 5-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. That one's hit well to center, but room for Smolinski, who backs up, turns around, waits. One out here in the 6th.
Both home runs hit, and the 2-run home run, and Marte the 3, fastball center cut, and those are good pitches to hit, and they did not miss them.
Liam Hendricks starts to throw. There's Bandy, who hit that 2-run homer last inning. Bandy's kind of a lift and separate guy. I mean, he's not thinking about shooting one through the right side. Pretty good uppercut. line foul.
How's your hand?
Not good.
Yeah. Against the A's, 2 pitches, 2-run home runs. And that was a no-doubter, just like Marte's.
Bandy tries to hold up. No swing, says Cedarstrom.
Let's see. That's that lift and drive that you said that he started. That's a long swing. For the long swing across the plate, he stopped it.
Hit foul and past the on deck circle. He's had a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of the 5th, but it is gone. Yonder Alonso says, I got it. And he does. 2 outs. Angels have been playing better as of late. In fact, they had a very good month of July. They were 15-11 in the month of July, which is pretty good. Toronto Blue Jays had the best July record in the American League. They were 16-8. Tigers were 16-10. Red Sox were 15-10. Those are the best July records in the American League. The worst July went to the Kansas City Royals, 7-19.
Hard to believe. That's what injuries will do to you.
The Rays were 9-16. They had a poor month. Again, these are just American League records. The A's finished 12-14. So they had a chance to finish above 500, but the weekend in Cleveland pushed them under the 500 mark as they hit August. Oh, 2 the count to Giovitella. A little bit inside. In the dirt, blocked by Vogt. 2-2 to Giovitella, who has struck out, and he has grounded to short. A walk, an error, and a 3-run homer for the Angels here in the 6th. Down and in.
He's not getting the hitters to swing at the slider anymore. Chase slider.
Jeffrey Barte, he may get a long look final 2 months of the season for the Angels. Been playing a fair amount. And there's the walk. A little bit more on the month of July. Hotter in the summer.
Yeah, summer in the city.
Dodgers had a good record. They closed the gap on the Giants. And there's the Blue Jays record. How about Max Kepler from the Twins? 8 home runs in the month of July. He hit 3 last night on August 1st.
He's a rookie.
Strasburg was great. Santiago was great, and he got traded. Chris Davis, 7 home runs and 15 RBIs. That's a look at some of the good from the month of July around Major League Baseball. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Hendricks coming in.
Day when the A's play host to the Chicago Cubs Saturday. This Saturday, August the 6th, 15,000 fans will go home with a retro Billy Ball 3/4 sleeve baseball tee presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort. In addition, the A's will be wearing throwback uniforms that pay homage to the 1981 Billy Martin team that advanced to the 1981 ALCS. Get tickets at athletics.com.
So Sean Manaea leaves after 5 2/3 innings. Things got away from him in the 5th and the 6th. But he was rolling along through the first 4. So here's Liam Hendriks with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Gio Vitella is the base runner after the walk. Gio Vitella has 4 steals on the season. First pitch check swing hit foul near the A's dugout. Shane Robinson has lined out and he has doubled. '28th appearance for Liam Hendriks. He's been good lately. 7 walks, 36 strikeouts in 37 innings. In there first strike, and it's 0-2. It's hard to judge how much the air has affected this game. Obviously, it would have been a double play ball. And then the next hitter hits the home run.
But that's something that a young pitcher has to learn. How do you deal with mistakes? Mistakes are going to happen behind you. And you know, Kendall Graveman was upset with himself whenever the error occurred with Rajai Davis that opened up the 4-run inning. He thought he could have pitched better after that. Did not. Same with Sean Manaea tonight. And really, it's only 1 earned run.
Yeah.
You know, it's walk led off the inning, then the error, but then the 3-run home run. And something that Sean will learn as he progresses at this level. He's a good pitcher, and he's going to get better.
Runner goes on 2-2 swing and a miss. Robinson strikes out, but a 3-run homer by Jeffrey Marte is the big hit in this inning. So we're going to the 7th. Angels now lead 5-2.
California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
So Marte with the 3-run homer to give the Angels the 5-2 lead, 7th inning. Shoemaker still out there. So that's Cliff Pennington comes in the game as the new second baseman. So Pennington comes in. So, you know, we look for a little help up here in the booth sometimes, right? John Reynolds, the infamous stage manager here, told us in between innings that there's a new second baseman, Pettit. And that one is going to fall. And Calhoun throws behind Smolinski, and they almost got him.
It was a big help, wasn't it?
Yeah. Greg Pettit is what he said was the new, not Gregorio Petit, Greg Pettit. Instead, it's Pennington.
And this is a bloop base hit. Good way to start the A's in the 7th inning. Almost got, as Calhoun could throw, and he threw a bullet to first base with Shoemaker over to cover the bag.
A good start for the A's here in the 7th. And here's Ryan Healy, who has hit a fly ball to right field, and he has struck out. Coco Crisp to follow. 86 pitches for Shoemaker. Keep an eye on that. A breaking ball blocked nicely by Bandy.
John Axford, the right-hander, and he's going to be coming in for the 7th. Liam Hendricks getting the foul out of the 6th inning. Usually the A's and Angels games are close.
Yeah.
Throughout their history, it's been very close.
In the dirt again, 2-0. That's J.C. Ramirez, number 66, warming up. A's with 5 hits now in the game. The Angels with 6. Healy in a hitter's count at 2-0. And a 2-0 splitter. And now it's 3-0.
Doesn't he know that he hit a knuckleball for a home run?
That's right.
That ball is acting like a knuckleball.
Pours that one in there at 91 miles an hour.
Not every pitcher likes to walk off on his own accord. It does not like to come out in the middle of an inning, as Manaea did. Shoemaker trying to do the same to get out of this inning. He's trying to keep adding on.
Simmons charges, tough little hop, takes it himself on the first double play.
Doesn't it?
6-3 double play, and there are 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
Not quite the same that Pujols hit, but Simmons charging it, taking the short hop, and while he has not thrown the ball hard from the shortstop position, this time though he has a very strong arm. He definitely showed it on that one.
So 2 outs for Coco Crisp. Yeah, I think when he has to throw it hard, he does. First pitch to Coco Crisp, floats outside. So that's a strike. 1-1 to Coco, who homered in the 5th solo shot. Also walked and lined out. Splitter outside. Big gap in right center for Coco Crisp. He lines one to right for a hit. Calhoun gets to it quickly. He's got a very good arm. Gets it in. So a 2-out single for Crisp.
Second baseman, number 8, Ted Lowry.
Jake Smolinski going and trying to break up a double play, and looks like he got kicked in the head by Simmons as he went over him. He got hit in the left hand and now kicked in the head. Smolinski getting a chance to play. It's going to take a lot to get him out of the lineup.
He's a football player.
That's exactly right.
So here's Lowry with 2 outs.
In Northern Illinois in the cold weather too.
That's right.
Like Lambeau Field.
Lowry shows bunt, pitches down and in.
How many people did you say were at that practice at Lambeau Field?
67,000.
Wow, at a practice.
That's right. See, when Walt Horn gives you the thumbs up, that's all you need.
Smolinski checking his mobility, his neck as he turns to the left and right.
And he sets up outside. Lowry chased inside, missed the target. Shoemaker gets the strike. Lowry struggling right now. He is 0 for his last 18. Did not have a real good month of July. Hit just a shade over 200 in the month, so he was glad to see the calendar turn to August. Right field where Calhoun comes in a couple steps. He makes the catch. So a couple of hits for the A's, but a double play by the Angels. And we have reached the 7th inning stretch. 5-2 Angels.
Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Hey, we got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. It's Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30, and it's on CSN Bay Area. And more reaction from all the trades from around Major League Baseball yesterday. Get a 49ers training camp report, and are you ready for Rio? Kerry Walsh profile. Kelly Johnson will host. That's the Big A Tower outside. Out in the parking lot. Used to be right here inside the ballpark, right? Way out in left center field. Right. They've moved it out to the parking lot, but still very visible if you're coming into the ballpark. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts. It's John Axford who comes in, and he faces the top of the order. First pitch is a breaking ball, and it's a good one. Escobar has grounded out, singled, and walked. Things are getting interesting in the American League Central. The Twins beat the Indians again tonight in Cleveland by a final score of 10-6. Baseball's amazing, right? We left Cleveland on Sunday, and the Indians had just swept the A's. They got Andrew Miller, and things are just, it's all good. Well, last night they lose to the Twins. Now, as we know, the Minnesota Twins have the worst record in the American League. They lose 12-5. This morning, Danny Salazar gets put on the disabled list. His elbow's sore. Tonight, they lose 10-6, and Carlos Carrasco gets knocked out in the fourth inning. So they've given up 22 runs to the worst team in the American League in 2 games. And they look up, and the Tigers win again. Tigers have won 7 in a row, and now the Indians' lead is down to 3 in the Central.
And the 2 pitchers the A's did not see, and they're thinking, oh no, going to have to face Salazar, and Carrasco didn't face either one of them, lost all 3.
Yep. Tigers beat the White Sox 11-5. Sanchez over Shields. Miguel Cabrera, another home run. He's starting to heat up. Simeon knocks it down, picks it up, throw to first, not in time. It's going to be another error on Marcus Simeon, his second in the game.
Ball up the middle, and you know, Ron Washington was talking about the Rajay Davis ground ball in Cleveland. And really, Marcus is doing the same thing here. He's using 2 hands, and Wash brought up a good point. He says if you go to your left like that, use the glove hand, 1 hand, catch the ball. But when you try to use 2, everything kind of confuses the issue a little bit. And he might have been thinking the same thing on that one.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's not easy when you're moving left or right or charging a ball. It's hard to go with both hands.
That's right. Because
if the ball's right at you and it's a normal ground ball.
That's why he talks about a backhand to the right, 1 hand in the front to the left.
Sure.
And you know, and it's, I'm sure he will be discussing that afterwards, but I asked him about the Rajay Davis, and he said 2 hands, wrong time to use that. And then he complicated it by thinking Rajay Davis, and then hurried up everything and missed it.
So as much as you want to think, hey, since Little League, right, use 2 hands,
right.
but you can't always do that as an infield.
Exactly.
It does limit your hand motion a little bit with your glove.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he was talking about.
Calhoun hits it hard. Simeon's got this one, fires to first, and that's a double play. So the air does not hurt, and that is 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
That time the A's using the shift, and it worked perfectly as another ball hit up the middle, but this time Simeon playing behind the bag and able to catch and turning it into a double play. And Calhoun, although really tried to go to the left side with the open space, but not guided enough into left field. Nice play by Marcus Simeon, and threw a bullet right over the top of Escobar as he was headed to second.
So the first pitch to Trout is a fastball away from Axford. The Red Sox are leading the Mariners 4-2. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning up in Seattle. And the Mariners have lost some brutal games lately.
Yeah. Oh, that game Sunday night in Chicago.
Oh, those are ones that you tough to shake sometimes.
A pitcher pinch hits. John Lester gets 2 strikes and lays down a perfect safety squeeze to score the winning run. After the Cubs scored 3 in the 9th, and the tying run scoring on a wild pitch that 10 feet outside.
Stephen Vogt got a good one there, I think.
Yes, he did. Mike Trout making sure he's okay as the ball came straight back off his right shoulder. Guys have been the All-Star game each of the last 2 years. Teammates for the American League. Cincinnati and San Diego. Trout, the starting center fielder. Vogt caught last year and All-Star again this year.
In for a strike, 2-2 the count. Trout a single, a fly ball to center, and a walk. He led off the 6th inning with a walk, and then the next batter reached down there, and then Marte homered. Three-two pitch to Trout. Here it is, and it's just off the plate. That's walk number 4 by A's pitchers.
Talking about the Twins, we've been talking about Mazzara as Homer as potential rookie of the year. It's about Max Kepler, young man who you said hit 3 tonight.
Well, he hit 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
So he had
that's right, first day of August, right?
What he did in July. Yeah. Yesterday he hit 3 home runs against the Indians. Tonight he hit another one, and we saw him.
That's right.
Nice left-handed swing.
He had 8 home runs in the month of July.
Yeah. Well, he's got 4 in August, and it's August 2nd. So.
And he almost went in the record books, hitting 4 last night, but just went 4 for 6. And we showed the numbers. What Cleveland, something like 4 wins against the Twins all year, and like I said, they came into town after the A's were swept by the Tribe.
Yep. Looked at the Dodgers lineup tonight, Ray, and Josh Reddick was in the cleanup spot. They're still playing there in Colorado.
And they're losing.
Reddick 0 for 3 so far, but hitting in front of Adrian Gonzalez. So Josh Reddick, the cleanup hitter now for Dodgers, at least against right-handed pitchers.
Is Yasiel Puig on the lineup?
Yasiel Puig is
in Oklahoma City
headed to the minor leagues. Very strange situation there.
Well, the Dodgers went from having Matt Kemp, Puig, Crawford, Ethier, and now they don't have any of them.
Ethier is supposed to come back at some point. That one is in the air, left center, hanging up for Coco. Coming across, makes the catch. So an error and a walk, but no damage done, and we're on to the 8th.
Presented by Chevron, return to the Coliseum on Saturday, August the 13th. Fans can meet Star Wars costume fan groups during the game, and everyone in attendance will enjoy post-game fireworks so big and bright it's sure to awaken the Force. A special ticket package includes a Stormtrooper beanie. Get tickets now at athletics.com/Star Wars.
Here in Anaheim, it's the top of the 8th inning with the Angels leading 5-2 in Game 1 of the series. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. J.C. Ramirez comes in, 45th appearance. The combined numbers between the Reds and the Angels. He was claimed off waivers from Cincinnati on the 26th of June and made his Angels debut the very next day. And his numbers were not good with the Reds, but he has pitched pretty well with the Angels. A little bit low. For Matt Shoemaker, a pretty good outing, 98 pitches, allows just 2 runs in 7 innings. So he's been pitching well for the Angels, and he pitched well tonight. Vogt belts one to right field, but it's going to be right at Calhoun. He makes the catch. So Stephen Vogt 0 for 4. And that'll bring up Chris Davis.
Number 2, Chris Davis.
Sinker slider split for Ramirez. The Angels were happy that with the trade of Santiago and mix and matches Andrew Triggs, who's activated today, but the Angels were above the luxury tax threshold of $189 million. That was with the signing of Lincecum. So they're back under it now. Talking to Billy Epler, of course, he came from the Yankees. He knows all about the luxury tax and the higher percentages above what you go once, and it increases. The Yankees have paid a ton of money with their luxury tax and revenue sharing. And I think one of the biggest things is, oh, there's no doubt that was going to be called a strike.
Yep.
There's Lincecum, who with the Angels won his first game as a member of the Angels against the Athletics. That's less of a swing, but nonetheless called by Gary Cedarstrom. I would not defer to him for anything. I'd be swinging a bat.
Yeah,
because you got no chance. I guess that initial flip of the hand by Cedarstrom was not an ejection.
Lincecum, not good. 8.49 ERA with the Angels.
Should let his hair go again.
And he did do a pretty good job against the A's in that first start, but since then he really has not had a good start.
Here's the next start was against the A's, and that wasn't that great.
And he was scheduled to pitch, right, in this series? Is it Thursday?
I think he and Weaver.
Yeah, Weaver tomorrow, Lincecum Thursday, and the A's have announced that they will call up Jesse Hahn to pitch on Thursday. The crafty right-hander Weaver will see tomorrow.
He's not as crafty as he was. I mean, you got a fly ball pitcher in Weaver and a ground ball pitcher in Graven.
So 2-2 the count. Long look in by J.C. Ramirez. And that one's up and in. Hard thrower, 97 miles an hour.
And he throws a split also like Shoemaker, but I don't know that he would throw it 3-2, especially with a 3-run lead. Might challenge him and see if he's going to do it again. Fastball outside, given the sign by Bandy.
Foul straight back. Good rip by Chris Davis. A home run and 2 strikeouts for Davis. Coco Crisp has a home run tonight. But that's it. 2 solo home runs for the Athletics. cued off the end of the bat toward Valencia in the on-deck circle.
Well, this is where a catcher, Bandy, who was behind the plate when Chris Davis hit the home run to right center field. Still in the game as the reliever comes in. What does he do on 3-2? They not want to give him another fastball. It's a 2-0 against Shoemaker for a home run, so that was a slider that he just called. Davis barely got the bat on.
Another foul ball, right side into the second level.
Asking Tim Mead, who has been with the Angels forever, I said, "You're going to draw 3 million again?" He said, "Probably." So they keep the consecutive streak alive of drawing 3 million people.
Attendance is averaging 38,000. They're actually up a little bit this year from last year when they just slid over the 3 million mark. Tonight, announced crowd of 36,052. Tickets sold. Teams announced, tickets sold. And there may not always be that number in the ballpark. Money's in the bank, they say.
That's right.
Tickets are bought.
Tickets sold up front.
Up the middle, under the glove of Pennington. It may have a little piece of leather, but it'll be a hit for Davis. So A's Insider Podcast is live on CSNCalifornia.com. Log on each week as our insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. This week, Joe's guest is he's third baseman Ryan Healy. A's Insider Podcast with Joe Stiglitz. It's on CSNCalifornia.com. It's sponsored by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. You can also get it on iTunes. First pitch to Valencia is a swing on this. This was Chris Davis. He got to first base. Didn't have much to say to Gary Cederstrom.
Looked like Gary had a few words to say to him, though, huh?
Valencia, good swing, fouls it straight back. Oh, 0-2 the count to Danny Valencia. Valencia has had a good ball game. Ground out, double, and a walk. Inside, 94 miles an hour. It's only a 3-run game. He's had a couple of hits in the 7th inning, but the double play squashed it. They had runners at first and second with 2 outs in the 6th inning, so they've had some opportunities here late. And now it's 2-2.
I think the impressive thing about the A's against the Angels, especially down here, have been some dramatic come from behind wins. They'll have to do it again tonight.
And the 2-2 pitch, a fastball at 96. Valencia missed it. 2 outs.
I did not mess around with the split here. Upstairs with a fastball, probably out of the strike zone. But Valencia trying to get on top of a good heater from Ramirez.
So here's Yonder Alonso. A ground out, a fly ball to the left, and a single. First pitch to Alonso is ripped down the right field line, headed for the corner, and it is gone. First row home run, 5-4.
Well, thank you for the short wall in right field, because that ball just over the wall, but a line drive down the line just over the very short wall. Yonder Alonso, fastball, inner half of the plate. Mike Scioscia's going to go ask if it was a home run. It's Gary Cederstrom's call. And of course, they have the ability to review it. It's over the fence, isn't it?
Yeah, he may be asking about, there was a fan down there. It did not look like the fan reached over.
Yeah, it looked like the fan caught it as it landed over the fence, but it was hit so hard and got that there so quickly. That fan in the
right there.
right there.
He had the glove.
Angels fan too, but
did not look like he reached over.
It looked like he got it right in his lap.
Yeah. He had the glove. He was standing up, but did not reach over. Well, Alonso, his 5th home run of the year, and just like that, 5-4. So 3 home runs for the A's tonight. And that's going to be a base hit for Marcus Semien.
A 10-pitch at bat by Chris Davis to get the base hit, strike out to Valencia, and then very quickly a home run. Alonso is Charles Nagy. He's going to pay a visit to his right-hander. All that's happening so quickly, not much of a chance for anybody to get loose. So Fernando Salas just getting up.
And the closer, Houston Street, on the disabled list. And this is a twofold meeting. One, to make sure your pitcher's okay, and 2, give that guy a little time out in the bullpen.
Alonso 1 home run in July on the 8th. That was at Houston, that big one against the closer, Will Harris. Tonight, a big one also. This one, though, not given the lead. Actually, it's the same as it happened down there. It made the score 7-6, and this was 5-4.
Here's Smolinski. Smolinski has been hit by a pitch. He has flied to left, and he has singled. 1 for 2.
That game that Manaea pitched against the Rangers. It's a game in which the A's had the 2 2-run home runs, came back and won the game. No decision for him. Trying to do it again tonight.
Smolinski with 6 home runs on the year. This is his 51st game. That one's hit to left, and it was a hanger. Smolinski just missed it. So side retired. Alonso with a 2-run homer. So as we go to the bottom of the 8th, it is now a 5-4 game. Angels leading the A's.
This weekend, when the Chicago Cubs make a rare visit to face the A's, come to see Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and the rest of the Northsiders at this early August weekend series. A special ticket for Friday's Italian Heritage Night. Come for Saturday's Turn Back the Clock Day or enjoy some sunshine at Sunday's 1:05 p.m. matinee. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
All right, game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4-9-2 for the A's, 5-6-0 for the Angels. Sean Manaea was rolling along, but he got in trouble in the middle innings, got knocked out in the 6th. And the A's have hit 3 home runs. The Angels have hit 2. And really the difference in the game is one of the home runs for the Angels, a 3-run shot. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. As Ryan Dull comes in here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So 5-4. Marte, Simmons, and Bandy. Marte has that 3-run homer. He has also struck out and hit a fly ball to right field. And that's a base hit to right field. Marte just kind of shortened up his swing, it looked like. Pokes it to right. He's 2 for 4.
Same guy crushed a 3-run home run, the biggest hit of the game. And you're right. Pitching him outside after the home run inner half of the plate. It'll flip to right field, and that quickly leadoff runner on base. A's would like to get back in the dugout trailing by 1. That's what Ryan Dull is trying to accomplish in this half inning.
Here's Simmons. Angels obviously looking for an insurance run. Interesting statistic on the Angels. They're 8th in the league in runs scored. They do not hit a lot of home runs. 2nd fewest. They lead the league in sacrifice bunts. The Royals have hit fewer home runs. They've struck out the fewest times. Not saying Simmons is going to do it here, but he's not done a lot in the American League. Angels do it most, the sacrifice.
Well, they go 1st to 3rd.
Yeah.
The best. They sacrifice and play for an extra run going to the 9th inning. Might seem to do that.
Runner goes. Ball's tapped solely to Simeon. He's going to have to go to 1st. And he gets Simmons. So they started the runner. And it worked, getting the runner to 2nd base. Make sure you join us tomorrow. The A's will continue this 3-game set. It'll be Kendall Graveman and Jared Weaver. Coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. And you will get complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. The home of A's baseball is CSN. So runner in scoring position for the Angels, and it's Jed Bandy. Bandy, a strikeout, a 2-run homer, and a pop out to 1st.
And a closer, he's done quite well, Cam Bedrosian.
He's starting to put it all together.
Yeah, trying to follow his father's footsteps. Dad pretty good himself.
Yep. And that one's hit deep to left. Coco's hustling back, and he's going to get there, and he makes the catch.
Well, that had to be in on the handle.
Sounded good, didn't it?
It sure did, and Bandy kind of looking like what happened. So that's a break for the A's because it didn't carry. Somehow, maybe get another trademark something because it sure sounded great coming off the bat. I thought a hanging slider. Actually, Johnny G hit one against Ryan Dull at the Coliseum. Johnny Giovatello down the left field line. That was a hanging slider. This one also, but this one stayed in the park, fortunately.
2 outs, and here's Cliff Pennington, his first at bat since coming back from the disabled list, and he grounds one toward Lowry, who slides to his right. Throw to 1st, side retired. So we're going to the ninth. Last shot for the A's. It'll be Healy, Crispin, Lowry, 5-4.
Far. And that is Mr. Marte. 3-run home run. That's a difference maker. That's a 5-2 lead for the Angels. But I say so far because thanks to Ryan Doe getting the Angels out in the bottom of the 8th inning, it is a 1-run game. 5-4, the Angels leading in the top of the 9th inning. There is Marte at first base. Single to right field, his last at bat, but the big blow, a 3-run home run to right field. Or to left field.
So here is Cam Bedrosian. He's going to get a chance to save games with Street on the disabled list. He has never had a save in his young career. He has had one save opportunity. It was actually a couple of years ago, 2014. Got the blown save there. So a chance for his first big league save, something his father did many times. Steve Bedrosian.
He's got the selection of pitches, all 4 to be exact, and as Max Muncy going to pinch hit for Healy. Bedrosian, a couple of appearances against the Athletics. He's pitched 2 1/3 innings, a couple of strikeouts, and that's it. One game the Angels won, one game the A's won.
First pitch is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. How about this? This is why the Angels really like this young man. 24 straight games without a run allowed, covering 22 2/3 innings. So he's pitching extremely well. He's been up and down a lot the last couple of years, but I think the Angels have always thought very highly of him and thought at some point he could probably be a closer. His dad had 148 career saves.
And there was some talk with Houston Street struggling a little bit, of course, on the DL effective today, but Mike Scioscia said nope, he's going to keep going with Houston Street. Said Bedrosian can do too much in the role he's been in. Well, now he's in the closer's role, and we shall see how well he does. Start.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Muncy, 3 pitches is gone.
And he'll throw the curveballs to lefties as he just did, but not a large percentage of time. This time, though, he brought it in back door. Once he started, did not pull the trigger. It's primarily a sinker slider pitcher. That's typically a reliever would come in and throw those pitches.
So here's the top of the order, Coco Crisp, and he need a base run. Foul straight back. I shortchanged Steve Bedrosian. He had 184 career saves. I said 148. Don't want to do that.
And this is Coco, and gets Shoemaker hitting his 10th home run on the first pitch fastball, 3rd at bat. And a similar swing right now would tie the game as the A's are trailing by a run.
Coco's also singled and walked and lined out, so he's had a good ball game. 10 home runs now for Coco Crisp. Down and away. Lowry will be next. 3 home runs by the A's tonight, 2 by the Angels. A little bit high, 96 miles an hour in the fastball. So now Coco sitting in a good spot with the count 3-1.
Well, throw him a fastball middle of the plate, tie the game. He's got the fastball that Matt Bush has that Coco hit down in Texas. A big 2-run home run.
Came right at him, strike. Bedrosian has allowed 1 home run in 39 innings this year.
It's a 3-1 fastball, perfectly thrown outside corner. Jet Bandy setting up outside, not giving Coco a chance to pull the ball, which is very smart. You're a catcher.
Came right at him again, 96 miles an hour.
Look at the difference in the location of this pitch and what Bandy's doing. As Wilson moved inner half of the plate, and that ball was crushed. 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and Chris Davis would follow up a couple of hitters later with a 2-run shot to right field. He started this road trip winning 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. Lost 3 straight against Cleveland, trying to avoid losing the first game of this series tonight.
3-2 pitch. Too close to take, and it's foul back.
Okay, of course you've heard me talk about it, but really the old theory in the late part of the game, do you pitch away or do you pitch inside where a hitter can go short distance, which Coco did last weekend. And these first 2 pitches with 3-2 count have been outside, and you can see Robinson playing extremely shallow in left field. It's like I'm going to force you to try to hit a home run to left field. Not a lot of guys can do it. Chris Davis can go any place.
Bedrosian's ready. Another payoff pitch. Here it comes.
Oh,
Strike
no,
3 call.
No. Don't think so on that one. I don't think so. Wow, took the bat out of his hand. But that's not a strike. Bandy set up outside again, but that's not a strike.
I don't think it is either.
Nope, no way.
So 2 outs here in the 9th, and it's up to Lowry.
What's that guy's name behind the plate?
Chad Whitson.
We've never heard of him, but we've heard of him now.
So Lowry needs to get aboard. Vogt would be next. First pitch, a little slider for a strike. So a good first pitch strike for Bedrosian. A little bit outside, fastball, 1-1. Lowry is 0 for 4. Tries to go outside again, and that went off the plate. Cam Bedrosian trying for his first major league save. At the knees, right on the outside corner. 2-2 the count.
If you're Bedrosian, why would you throw any place except right here? And you're getting that call There's no reason in the world to do anything except that, and Bandy could set the same spot.
Breaking ball, and it's rolled foul. Bounces over the A's dugout into the first row. So a 2-2 breaking ball there. And you could see Bandy wanted it down, and it was down.
Now, really is taking a chance because you hang a curveball like that, and if you can nail a fastball outside corner, which you did to Coco and to Lowry, why take a chance hanging the curveball and let Lowry hit a home run? Fastball outside.
And he got him swinging. So Cam Bedrosian strikes out the side in the top of the ninth, and he gets his first major league save, and the Angels take game one of this 3-game series, and it was a game of home runs. Angels hit a couple, the A's hit 3, but the A's come up short. Time of game, 2 hours and 45 minutes in front of 36,052. Final score, the Angels 5 and the Athletics 4. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Henry Wolford and Bip Roberts starts right now.